couple of announcements. Just to let you know a couple of the things going on the remainder of this week. And it is not clicking forward for me. Did you double click on the first slide of it? There we go. Yep. There is ladies game day tomorrow. So ladies, you're invited to be a part of game day if you can make it. Kesik's Men Fellowship is tomorrow night. Today was the girl talk. I know some of you wolfed down your lunch so you could be here. Men's ministry is this Saturday at 9:30. So men, you're invited to come and be a part of that. Super Sunday is Sunday. So if you want to come and hang out with us for a little bit after service, we have a couple different kinds of soups and chilies. And I think somebody even said pulled pork they were going to bring. So you can have little pulled pork sandwiches. So it's just an opportunity for us to spend some time in fellowship and be the family of God with a family meal together. Just a reminder that our jug in the back that was our Pennies for a Purpose jar, you can put money in there, and that money we're going to count probably about quarterly is when it builds up enough for us to put towards our mortgage, to pay down our mortgage. It always goes towards principal payments. It goes towards extra payments, so to help pay down our mortgage. So, and then blessing tables within the last week or so, we've had a lot of people bring in some donations. So our blessing tables we're okay for right now until the end of the month. Okay, so I think we have a good stock. So thank you all for helping out with that. And then missionaries of the week: Matthew and Randy McComber, missionaries to Israel and to Palestine, as well as Bob and Michelle Perez, missionaries to Cuba. And just continue to remember to pray for them. I have two more announcements. The first one is Sunday night, during the night, Phil Ricuzio passed away. Phil Ricuzio he was coming for a while and then he was sick, but him and his wife usually sat over in that direction. Phil and his daughter joined us for the Christmas banquet. He was actually supposed to have a pacemaker put in on Monday, but he passed away overnight before that. They had the opportunity to give him the pacemaker. So if I get any more information about the services, I will let you know. I know his daughter he was in the hospital near Livingston. So, and his daughter lives closer that way. So I'm not sure if they'll do something here or if it'll be closer to where she's at. So, but I will give you those details. And then Mary Ratliff's daughter that we've been praying for, she passed away as well. That was Monday. Monday she passed away. So it looks like they're doing a memorial service in Florida. So we won't necessarily have a service here for her. But if you are interested, they said that they might live stream it if you want to show your support by watching the service that way. Okay. Mary will have those details when she finds out. Mary and Don. Okay. So it's been a long week. Monday I spent the whole day in the hospital with the Balloos. For those of you who know Ken Sr. and Ken Jr. Ballou. Ken Jr. was having some heart issues, and the doctor said that they should go to the emergency room instead of the doctor. And so I went there and I was with them all day. So I know Ken Jr. stayed, and I believe he's still in the hospital. Ken Sr. is home, but I know both of them could really use your support, your prayers at this time, okay? Yeah, it's Ken Sr., he struggles a lot with being able to see, which is one reason why he's not here, because he has trouble getting around a lot. Ken Sr.? Yes, Ken Sr. would understand. Yes. Yep. Yeah. His main thing is he has some trouble walking, but his vision is very bad. But his mind is still seems pretty sharp. Okay. If you don't get through to him because he has trouble seeing to answer the phone, during the day is probably the best right now because I believe his niece is with him, so she can help him answer the phone. Okay. His wife is in um, Whiting Gardens. But she's there. Yes, yeah, she is living there at Whiting Gardens. I think she's having a lot of memory issues that way, so having a conversation with her might be harder. But his mind is seems still pretty sharp. So. Um, so it's been a very busy week. What? My meeting yesterday was okay. I had a sectional meeting of the pastors in the East Central Section South. So 30, 40 pastors were there, about that. And the guest speaker was a speaker from, I don't even know where his church is. But he just talked about some of the systems that he does in his church. And basically our sectional meetings, our sectional pastor meetings are kind of like pastor development meetings to develop professional development type things. So our next one in February is a big leadership one with a big speaker from out of state. Everybody wants to talk. All right. Let's look at Joel chapter 3. We're going to finish up the book of Joel today. We're going to cover the whole last chapter. And chapter 3 focuses on two main things. The first is the judgment of the nations. And the second is the hope for God's people. Now, the day of the Lord, I'll just remind you of this because this phrase comes up this time. The day of the Lord is talking about God's judgment being poured out. Typically, it holds two meanings. It held a meaning for, at the time it was written, for the people it was written to. But specifically in Joel, when it's mentioned, it's also referring to the day when Jesus comes back and the world is judged for their sin. So it's talking about end times type things. Okay? So we're just gonna, as we close up this chapter, it does point us to end time events, and it will tie in to Revelation well when we go next week. So let's just read chapter 3, verses 1 through 3. In those days and at that time, when I restore the fortunes of Judah and Jerusalem, I will gather all nations and bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat. There I will put them on trial for what they did to my inheritance, my people Israel, because they scattered my people among the nations and divided up my land. They cast lots for my people and traded boys for prostitutes. They sold girls for wine to drink. In those days and at that time is how this chapter starts. This is referencing sometime in the future for Israel. Okay? So this is prophecy. We will see in a second how Some of what he's talking here was partially fulfilled. I'll show you that in just a couple minutes. But it is for a future time where it will be ultimately fulfilled, and a future time for us. Okay? And it actually connects to a section we read last week. That phrase, in those days and at that time, connects to Joel chapter 2, verses 28 and 29. So just a page over for most of you. So let me just read that. 28, and afterward I will pour out my spirit on all people. Your sons and daughters will prophesy. Your old men will dream dreams. Your young men will see visions. Even on my servants, both men and women, I will pour out my spirit in those days. So this for Israel was in the future. We know that this happened on the day of Pentecost. Peter referenced it. We talked a little bit about that last week. And it's along that same vein that verse 1 is in those days. So with usually when we talk about the last days in times, we usually think of specifically the couple of years, the couple of months, days before Jesus returns. But with the pouring out of the Holy Spirit in the New Testament, theologically, the end times began. Okay? So we are definitely living in the end times as far as God's plan now is rolling towards that final completion. And so these verses that we're reading